Next album we're going to talk about is a rap group, Flatbush Zombies. Their album is called Vacation in Hell. Hip-hop group from Brooklyn, New York, consisting of rapper Michi Darko, Zombie Juice, and Eric Art Elliott, who also serves as their producer. The three met at a very early age and bonded over their love of Dragon Ball Z, wrestling, and psychedelic drugs.
As one does.
Yeah. So in 2010, they became the Flatbush Zombies and began releasing mixtapes in 2012. Their music videos gained popularity on YouTube, which led to collaborations with The RZA, Danny Brown, Jim Jones.
The rapper, not the cult leader.
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Also, A$AP Mob, to name a few. 2016, the group released their debut album, 3001, A Laced Odyssey, which reached number 10 on the Billboard 200 charts. This second album boasts 19 tracks as opposed to the first album, which only had 12.
You say only. Was that an ironic only?
12
only 12 songs.
Well, 12's not a bad number. That's a standard 80s album, 12 tracks.
That's an average. Like, that's what albums should be.
All right, fine. I'm just saying only, which had 12 tracks. No, only. We'll take the only album.
Compared to goddamn 19.
Yeah, 19. That was a problem for me right away because it made it difficult to remember how each song sounds. While that runs the risk of having too many filler tracks, I thought the length of the album does require multiple listens to give an opportunity for the listener to pick up on beats or lyrics that may have been missed the first time around. So on my first listen, one would assume this was just a collection of psychedelic hip-hop mixed with elements of trap and horrorcore. And while that may be true, you'll find this group full of mushroom heads offers so much more on this album. The opening track, Hello, mixes creepy horror movie keys with like the crunk-ass trap beat.
That was my favorite song on this album.
First
song is f***ing hard.
Yeah, first track in, he's in there. I like tracks like M. Bison and Big Shrimp. I thought it used the snare drum very subtly, but the overall beat and the vibe of the song have like the ability to get the club bouncing. But then a song like Ask Courtney has like an old school Bay Area beat you'd hear from like an artist like E40, perfect for low key crip walking. And throughout the album, the music goes from straight street rap to some like moments of alternative hip hop, like the song Misunderstood, which has a clean guitar riff looping over the beat. So I think right now we're talking about the production of music right now. So I thought it was very diverse in a good way.
I thought it was very diverse in a bad way. I think that it just felt kind of all over the place. You had songs towards the end that felt very like East Coast New York, just like very almost like throwback. But then you had songs like in the middle that were, I don't know, just like Hot 97 club jams.
Okay.
And I feel like they're at their best when they're not doing like a verse chorus thing. Because then some of them were like, it's that the kind of chorus where the beat breaks down and it's just a dude essentially talking with autotune.
Okay.
And it's like, I can't get into that.
Okay.
I
feel
feel
like
like
some of the songs that you're saying didn't work. I agree with you. Yeah.
I feel like as I was listening to this, I think rap started going downhill when Lil Wayne blew up. Because I feel his fingerprints are all over everything. So I'm listening to this album, and it's like really hard in parts, really relevant in other parts. Like, it has so much going on, but then like they have to at some point just throw Lil Wayne-isms in, where it's just like they almost do Lil Wayne impressions at times, and then like things that I feel like he pioneered or like his group, him and like the people that he's affiliated with.
Young Money, baby.
Like the vocal patterns and how they work with the beats, I'm just like, this sounds like something Lil Wayne or like Drake or somebody would have done. Like they'll have a song that's just like awesome, and then they'll come out. I'm like, this is like really fucking generic, you know.
I think one of the songs I think it goes along with what Drew's saying. A song called Chunky, like grimy beat like we love. MCs are going in. Then like when it comes to like the hook, it immediately switches to like this soft acoustic guitar strumming.
It's
like,
usually the
pack your
hook
bags.
or like the breakdown. There will be some sort of breakdown at some point, and it's just like this sounds like too lame and generic.
Yeah, it's quiet guitar part, and it's a word we use a lot on this podcast is jarring. It's you put that in just to be different, and it doesn't fit. I found the switch up too forced. I think it's better when they blend the hip hop with like the alternative, like on the song "Crown," which features Portugal the Man on the chorus. That song I thought worked really well. So sometimes they can do it, sometimes they can't. What do you think of the features on this album?
It's tough for me to tell who's the featured rapper and who's not.
Well,
because I listen to so little rap in general that, and especially with like groups, it's a lot less. It's a lot more difficult to tell them apart. Mm. Like, I mean, I was probably listening to Wu-Tang for like 10 years before I could be like, oh, well, that's the RZA, and that, you know.
Well, Portugal Man, like I said in the last track, you know, you could tell when it goes to like either a woman singing or like, you know, it's an alternative chorus that obviously is a feature. I think that blends well. You can see, you know, Jadakiss, being that we're from like the East Coast, you know, when you hear him, he's on the track Facts. I thought like he could have went more in and harder on that verse, but I thought it was a great cameo. Now, what you're talking about, like the song Vacation, it's a spacey trap song, features like a reggae dub beat and Joey Badass, which I can agree with you there. You don't know when it's his part because he's rapping the same way as they do. So you sound like he's kind of like with the group anyway. It's okay. I see what you're saying. Features you thought were okay. Beats you thought were kind of like not as good all the time. Let's get into like the lyrics then. I thought these guys are beasts when it comes to like lyrics. And the song I want to really talk about is a song called Headstone. I'm going to actually blow your mind as to when I tell you about this song, you'll be like, okay, now I understand how great they are. Headstone has the 90s like funky, grimy East Coast beat, and all of them are spitting bars. And I think like that hook is so infectious that Mickey is singing, like he's like, put money over bitch on my headstone. Here it lie, young nigga getting paid. Love it. I know I'm sounding like DMX on that, but he actually is one of my favorite of the three. I love his low raspy voice. Reminds me kind of a rapper named Nine from the 90s. I don't know if he had one hit song, so you might not know who he is. Also, what makes this song so great is each verse features lyric. The lyrics are like either a song or like an album title of a classic hip hop record, and they string it all together for like a cohesive rhyme. Fucking brilliant. Like, imagine this song by the Genius labels from like the 90s where he's just naming different record labels, and it's like a whole song about that. And I guess that I can see the unimpressed look in your face that didn't go over the way I thought it was going to.
That's actually cool. I just completely missed it.
Okay. Tracks like Real Girls and the song The Goddess talk about the zombies' love for girls and sensual relationships. But then it goes to a song like You and I, and it deals with the bond over between their friendship and family. And then they go to a song like Best American, which verbalizes their views on like the current state of America, but states that we are the problem, you know, at the end of the song. So these guys go from light topics like drug use to like dark themes like suicide, which gives the group plenty of layers.
Yeah, I'm going to have to just wing my final review because I was thinking about it as I was listening. And I took my main notes during the middle of the album where I was unimpressed. Towards the end, it gets better, and then at the beginning, it's really good. And if we want to talk lyrics, there's a couple of choice lines. Fleezus Christ, don't say my name in vain. Fire and brimstone, acid rain. Watch me turn the crowd into a Spartan scene. That was off from the first track, which is hard as hell. Like, I put that on, and I was just wanted to punch somebody in the face. Another line, Mama should name me Trouble Man, got shrooms, ain't talking truffles, and got sheets, ain't talking slumbers, and awesome.
Yeah.
And then when you're talking about it, they get like really lame. Here's my problem is there's like a lot of repetition, and I feel like that's something that's like relatively new in rap, where it'll just be like, a line repeated over and over again.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
like that's the verse or like that's the chorus, whatever.
Yeah.
They had some of that, but then you're right. They did have other really good lines. Like, I want to f*** you like a porn star, make you skirt like NASCAR. When I heard that, I actually had to stop the song. I was like, hold up.
Yeah, it's great, man.
Double entendres. I'm a big fan.
You gotta love those puns and double entendres. So, why don't you get your final rating then? What you thought then?
Oh, God. I'm just going to wing this. Go
ahead, man.
Because this was what I wrote down for my final rating. I think I was a little too hard on them. Listen, most of the album is like just all right. They're not breaking any new ground with big bassy beats, typical new school rap vocal patterns, and old standby topics of sex, drugs, and making money. All the MCs are serviceable, but I would say that they are more than serviceable. They just don't realize that they don't need to be dipping into this garbage that is beneath them. There were a handful of decent lines, most of which I read. Some I completely f***ing missed, apparently.
Yeah.
And a couple of songs that went hard. But it's exactly what you'd expect from a rap group in a post-Lil Wayne world, except for those last few songs and the first few songs, which I found pretty solid. It's like a really mixed bag. I'm going to give it... Initially, I was thinking I was going to give it a very mild download it. I'm going to give it a very...
a low...
High download it.
A high download.
Yeah. Go, you know what, log into your iTunes. Don't go to Spotify and just click download it. Go to BitTorrent. Put a little effort into it is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. I'll give you that. I think I'm on the same page with you. Like, there's way too many songs in here. I thought they could have shaved like 4 songs off it, just 4, because it would have made it more easy to digest this album. Still, I think it's exactly what trap music needs, like multi-layered instrumental beats with some actual clever wordplay. This album is great for a club or a party atmosphere, as well as just sitting in your room like with deep thoughts reflecting on life. No LSDs required, but to each their own. So I say...
Not required, but recommended.
Yeah. I'm going to give it, like what you said, a low buy this.
I'm giving it a high buy. A low buy this. I'm giving it a high. So we basically said the same thing.
There, yes.
And also, if you do decide to take some shrooms, and I'm not talking truffles, man, I would recommend buying this album on vinyl and just putting it on and looking at this goddamn cover forever.
Okay.
I've never done psychedelics, but looking at the cover, kind of want to.
Yeah, exactly. So what did you guys think of this the latest album from Flatbush Zombies? Let us know in the comment section.